Hi students, today we will be working in math. We will be going over 4-digit by 1-digit division. We will also be touching on fractions, reviewing them, remembering what they are, and then working independently forward on in IXL. Okay, to begin with, we're just going to touch base on our I can statements, our objectives, and it won't take us long to get into it. Okay, so here is our week that we are in. These are the actual course of study requirements for 4th grade, dealing with division and with fractions. And here are our I can statements. These are a little easier to understand. I can divide 4 digits by 1 digit. I can compare fractions to see if they are the same size. That means that they would be equivalent. Okay? We're going to have a teacher-created sample. That means I'm just going to have a problem that I'm going to work out with you. And then we're also going to have a division worksheet, which you will copy down the problems and work on your own. And then I will let you know where you need to go to in the IXL program for both division and fractions, okay? And you'll have the instructions up here so that you would be able to pause a video. You'd be able to rewind it to make sure you know exactly what you are supposed to do, okay? So I will go back to that as soon as we are through. So to begin with, we're going to look at a division problem that may or may not have a remainder. Now, the ones that you will be working on your worksheet will indeed have a remainder. Okay? So here we are. Big piece of paper, right? So we're going to do one that's not too complicated to begin with. We'll say 2. That will be our 1 digit. And let's make these not too horribly complicated. Let's say 7,235. Now this should come out with a remainder. Let's look at it, okay? So the first thing that we always do is we are going to be looking at these two numbers. Always you are dealing with these two numbers first. You're going to see how many sets of 2 you can make out of 7. Okay, or in other words, 7 divided by 2. What's the 1 digit that we can multiply by 2 to get as close to 7 without going over? So we're thinking in our mind, 2 times what equals 7, or as close as we can get to it without going over. Now, since we know our multiplication tables, we know what 2 times 1 is. We know that's 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 times 4 is 8. But 2 times 4 being 8 is over 7, so we're going to have to settle with the digit of 3. So we'll write a 3 here, and we will multiply 2 times 3, and we will write our answer here. And then we will subtract. 7 minus 6 equals 1. And then we bring our next number down. Now we are going to see how many groups of 2 we can make out of 12. Or in other words, 2 times what equals 12. Now since we're such experts on our multiplication tables, we know that 2 times 6 equals 12 exactly. So we write our 6 here. And then we multiply. 2 times 6 equals 12. We write our number down and then we subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. Let's bring this 3 down next. Now, how many groups of 2 can I get out of 3? Well, I know I can only get 1 group because 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 1 equals 2, and we'll write that down. If we'd used a bigger number, we would have been over 3. We can't do that. So 3 minus 2 equals 1. And we bring our next number down. Now this is our last number that we have up here to bring down. So now we're looking at how many groups of 2 we can get out of 15. In other words, 2 times what equals 15, or as close as we can get to it without going over. Now we know that 2 times 7 equals 14. 2 times 8 equals 16, but that would be over, so we're going to have to use 7. So we write our 7 here. 2 times 7 equals 14. We write our answer down, and then we subtract. So now we have 5 minus 4, and that is 1. And we know we haven't messed up too bad because 1 is not bigger than 2. And we have no more numbers to bring down. So here we have our answer of 3,617 with a remainder of 1. Now we know that we can check our answer by multiplying 3,617 times 2 and then adding 1. So let's do that real quickly. 3,617 times 2. And then we'll have to add plus 1. Plus 1 to get our answer. So 2 times 7 is 14. We carry our 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. 2 times 6 is 12, and we carry our 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and then we add 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. We bring our 3 down, our 2 down, and our 7 down, and our answer checks. So we got our answer correct. Okay? So that's what you'll need to do for the math problems here. Okay? The first one, 9,165 divided by 8, 9,931 divided by 7, 3,836 divided by 3, 4,060 divided by 8, 9,318 divided by 5, 6,791 divided by 3. Number 7, 9,283 divided by 2. Number 8, 3,455 divided by 4. 9, 3,699 divided by 8. Number 10, 7,232 divided by 5. 11, 3,110 divided by 7, and number 12, 9,285 divided by 2. Now I'll leave this up on the screen for you to have a reference, and you can pause it, you can rewind it, pause it, and hold it there so that you can write them down on a separate piece of paper and work them out. Now, how you'll know whether you've gotten the right answer or not is when you multiply and check your answer. I also have someone, an adult, an older brother, older sibling, someone who knows how to do this type of division to check it with you. Now, so after you have written that down, you'll need to go to IXL. You'll need to go to 4th grade. Notice I'm in grade 4 with math. And then you will need to scroll down. See these headings here. Most of you are familiar with this. Till you get to E, division. Okay, and then come on down to number 10. Divide larger numbers by 1-digit numbers. Okay. Now, there are several different ways of division that this will teach you and go over, okay? But where I want you to start is with number 10. And then I want you to work your way. See, this is where the remainder will go if you have a remainder for the problem. That's where you will write your answer. But work it separately on a different piece of paper and then place your answers. Now, this works on through 11 through 28. Now, as many as you can get done, that's what you need to do. Some of you may have already done most of these, but division and multiplication is something that you need to practice to keep fresh in your memory, okay? And all the practice you can get will be good for you, okay? So start with number 10 and work your way down as far as you can get. Remember that when you go to these, there's always a learn with an example that you can bring up and you can work it out. It'll give you the problem. And so it tells you even to rewrite this problem, make it more easier to work. And then it gives you the answer. It tells you how to do it. Okay? So don't give up. If you get there and you forget, click on back, click on the example so you can practice with it. And then it says back to practice. And you go back and you will start working them. Okay? Now, after you have worked on division, you will also need to work, after we're going to review fractions. And so you will go to P, fraction, equivalence, and ordering. Now today we're going to go over fractions review, and we'll go over that together. But so you'll need to go 1 through, let's see, I think I put you with 1 through 19, I think. But now if you're able to go on further and you are more advanced in being able to work those out, well then by all means you just continue to go through those. Let me make sure I put that on there. Where did I say go through? I see go all the way through 24 if you can. That's 19 was where I said stop with division. But now if you can go further than that, then that's fine. Okay, so let's go back to reviewing fractions. So I will click on number 1, fractions review, and I'll bring it up. Okay. Excuse me. Now, it says learn with an example. So let's look at that, and this will help us review. Okay. Learn with an example. What fraction of the shape is blue? So we look at this and we notice that we have a shape that has been divided into 3 equal parts. And that's what fractions are. That is a whole being divided into equal parts. Now, since this has been divided into 3 equal parts, it's asking us what part of it, how much of it is blue. So we have 1 that is white, and we have 2 that are blue. In other words, this one is not filled in. So it says use a slash to separate the numerator and the denominator. Now the numerator is the number on top, and the denominator is the number on bottom. So what we have here is, see if it's even going to let me do it.
What fraction of the shape is blue?
So we see that 2 out of 3 are blue.
Use a slash to separate the numerator and denominator.
Let's see, it may not let me put anything in. If it would let me put something in, I would put a 2 as my numerator, and then a slash mark, and then I would put 3 because it's divided into 3 parts. The denominator is the number of parts the whole has been divided into. Okay, so let's look at it. It says, count the number of equal parts, 1, 2, 3. There are 3 equal parts. Count the number of blue parts, 1, 2, there are 2 blue parts. 2 out of 3 equal parts are blue. So write 2 out of 3 as a fraction, and here it is. 2 out of 3, or 2/3. Okay. So let's look at this one. What fraction of the shape is green? Well, I look at it, and to me, all of it is green. How many parts is it divided into? 1, 2. So, 2 out of 2 parts are green. So, use a slash to separate the numerator and denominator. So, 2 / 2. Because 2 parts out of the total 2 parts are green. And it's what it's asking me. What fraction of the shape is green? So I put 2/2, and let's see if that's correct. That's right. Okay, so here I'm moving over. How many parts is this divided into? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it is divided into 10 equal parts. Notice all the parts are the same size. It is asking me what fraction of the shape is pink. I have 1 part of it is pink. So 1/10. 1 out of 10 is pink. All right. I think you're getting the idea. Just remember that, and you've had fractions before. Fractions are not, they're not new to you, and you know about fractions. Just notice, divided into equal parts, and you just count how many equal parts there are. And then it's asking you, what fraction of the shape is green? Well, we have 1 out of 1, 2, 3, so it would be 1 / 3, 1/3. Okay, so you keep going as far as you can with this, and know that sometimes these parts would be divided yet again, and you would look at it and you would compare to see if the same amount was shaded, to see if they were equal parts, and if so, they would be called equivalent. That's another way of saying equal. Okay. So again, you will be working in iExcel. Here's your iExcel instructions. Go to iExcel, 4th grade math. See all math skills. That's what the thing is on the side you click on. Then you go to division. That is section E, number 10. And you complete during the week as much of that as you can, 10 through 19. Some of you, it might not take any time to do. Some of you may have to work your way through it a little slower, but that's okay. We are learning at different paces, and just as long as we get it, that's what counts. Then we'll go to section P, fraction equivalence and ordering. You'll begin with number 1, which is the section that I just began with, and you're going to work your way as far as possible through number 24. Okay? That would mean the section P, and then number 24 as you go back to the headings under section P. Okay? And also, the note, to keep practicing your multiplication tables. Parents, if you're listening, please know that it is so important that they memorize all of their multiplication tables 1 through 12. And that they keep them in their memory, because everything that they do pretty much from this point forward in math will involve those. So it's extremely, extremely important that they have those memorized. Okay? And if you have any questions, again, my email address is kgilmore@GadsdenCity.edu. schools.com. If I have an answer for you, I'll be glad to share it with you. Take care.